Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
Now, a few days ago, I got to sit down with my old buddy, Jerry Salley, part of the Big Three. You'll hear more about that in a moment. And this is how that went.
Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show, and we are brought to you by the town of Marion, Virginia, America's coolest hometown, Pluckett Music Brand at PluckettMusicBrand.com. I tell you what, those guys in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, at Hearthside Cabin Rentals are my best friends. You can ask my wife anytime we need a place to stay. We just go right there. So my guest today is Mr. Jerry Salley. Now, we're going to stop here just a second. He's a songwriter, an A&R creative consultant, father, husband, grandfather, works for Billy Blue Records. I just call him friend. Jerry, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Rick, it's great to see you today, my friend.
And it's been a while, let me tell you.
It has been a while. It's great to see you and catch up.
How's Aaron doing and the grandchildren? That's what I'd like.
Erin is doing wonderful. She stays busy. She's a landscape architect, and she has all kinds of projects going on all the time. So she's busy with that, and she tries to work early in the day so she can take care of grandkids in the afternoon. So life is good.
Yeah, we got 5 now. So
I got 7. I got you beat by 2. So your kids need to get busier.
Yeah, I'm now, I knew you a long time ago when I met you and Carl Jackson and Larry Cordell. Mm-hmm. And we did that. This is legendary now if you go on YouTube. The Big Three interview. Remember that?
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Birthplace of Country Music Museum in Bristol, Virginia.
Right.
And, man, that was a catastrophe. All we did was laugh and have fun.
That's true. That was fun, though. I remember that like it was yesterday. That was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago, man. Let me tell you. Now, since then you've had a great amount of success with not just with Billy Blue Records in the bluegrass industry, but I called you a songwriter, and I think that's an understatement. You've dealt with people like Chris Stapleton, and all these other people. You want to help me out here? How did you do this? It's what I want to know, because I want to learn.
That's great. That's a great question. I ask myself all the time, what was I thinking? No, I grew up in a kind of a musical family. My parents were not professional musicians, but they loved music, and my dad played banjo. So I was exposed to bluegrass and gospel and and traditional country music as a child, and just grew up loving it. My dad bought my first guitar when I was 6 years old, and just fell in love with music. Started singing on stage when I was 10, and discovered Tom T. Hall when I was a teenager, and fell in love with him and his music, and inspired me to think about being a songwriter. And so wrote my first song at 16 years old, had my first song recorded and actually released at 18 years old. And I just kind of, by the time I was late teenager, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to move to Nashville and pursue songwriting. And, to be honest, back then I thought I was going to be some big country star at some point, and that never was in the cards for me. But I did have a couple of what they call developmental deals at CBS Records back in the day, and then RCA Records. But that never did work out for me. But while that was going on, my writing career just kept blossoming. When I first moved to Nashville, I got a job at Opryland USA, which was a theme park out where the Grand Ole Opry House is now. And well, it was there then too. But it was a theme park, and I was in the Country Music USA show. And so when I first moved here, that was the first job I got. I auditioned out there, won a part in that show, and we would imitate different country music artists. And so that's where I really got an opportunity to cut my teeth down here, learn about the business. It gave me an opportunity to go knock on doors downtown on Music Row and try to get in with some of these publishing companies to try to get in as a songwriter. And that's where I met Porter Wagner and Dolly Parton. Well, I didn't meet Dolly till later, but I met Porter. I met Roy Acuff and Minnie Pearl, who were both instrumental in helping me get started. So it's uh, it's a long story, too much to really get into this, but I just knew I wanted to be a songwriter when I was young, and I decided to move to Nashville to pursue it. And it just, God has blessed me.
Wow. No doubt about it, sir. I mean, no doubt about it. When you were running around with Carl and Cordell and all that good stuff, man. Now, what position were you in at that time? I don't think you had gotten back into the bluegrass industry as far as that goes. At that
Right. Well, yeah, I was raised in bluegrass. Now, the first major cut I had was in gospel music with Stephen Curtis Chapman.
time.
Talking about my Opryland days. He and I met at Opryland. We were in the same shows together, and we played Flat and Scruggs together. Believe it or not, I played Lester, and Stephen played. He didn't play banjo for real, but he was Earl Scruggs, and that was one of the little parts we played in the show. We were Flat and Scruggs together, and he and I became extremely close friends. I was pursuing a country music career as an artist. He was pursuing a gospel career. But we wrote a song called Hiding Place that got him his record deal. And all of a sudden he went from being a little Stevie Chapman to Stephen Curtis Chapman. But that was the first cut. But the very next cut I got was with Carl Jackson. We wrote a song called Breaking New Ground, and it was on the Seldom Scenes 20. I think it was 25th anniversary album or 20th anniversary album that came out in the late 80s. And so from that point, I mean, I just started. They always, they kept telling me when I first got here that your first cut's going to be the hardest one to get, and that was true. Once I first got a cut, and people recognized the music, I just got more doors open, I guess you'd say, and I got more people to listen to what I was doing. So it just kind of blossomed from there.
Amazing, amazing.
So when I met Carl, I was introduced. He was actually on CBS Records as an artist. And the publisher I was working for at the time introduced me to Carl, and we started writing together. We became instant great friends. And then I met Larry later through Carl, and we also had another gentleman named Jim Rushing that was a huge mentor to all three of us. And we've all become, we're best of friends. I was with Cordell yesterday, with Carl last week. They came in to sing on a new project I'm working on. And along with Bradley Walker, Bradley came in yesterday to sing on some stuff for me. So, yeah, it just kind of evolved, from a writing relationship to this friendship, this lasting friendship. We started performing together, me and Larry and Carl. I think our first show was at the Bluebird Cafe. I was actually all four of us. It was me, Carl, Larry, and Jim Rushing in the early 1990s. And can't remember if it was 91 or 92, but somewhere in there is the first time we ever performed together. And from that moment on, we're still doing shows together.
Man, it's great. I mean, it's just amazing to me that friendships and love can last that long in today's world,
Well, music has a lot to do with, music has really led me to just about every friendship I have, to be honest with you. So it's been a great ride, man. I'm really blessed, and I'm still really, really enjoying myself.
Some people use that word blessed in a connotation like every other breath, but you really mean it.
Well, I do mean it because, I'm a huge believer in Jesus Christ, and everything I've ever done, I owe it to Him. And I don't have a problem claiming that. And I don't want to preach at people or anything like that, but I'm smart enough to know that this isn't all because of Jerry Salley. It's because I've had an opportunity to do things that most people never got a chance to do, and I know where that came from.
Yeah, you guys enriched my life a lot. I mean, when we first started, going out and interviewing people and things of that nature, we're doing it around the Tennessee, Virginia area. We had, I had a guy come to me say, "Hey, let's go out and do podcasts." I said, "What's a podcast?" I had no idea. I had been in the radio business, but I didn't have any idea the people
Right.
that I was going to meet, and how it was going to just blow up my life.
Yeah.
And, one day you wake up and you're like, this is weird. Why? I was kind of talking to this guy about his personal life.
That's cool, though. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Just what, almost 20 years ago, you and I were just talking a minute ago about that.
Right.
But let's talk about Billy Blue Records.
All right.
Dude, you blew this one up. I mean, it's like when you got involved with this record label, I think you went back to your roots, first of all, talking about, being in the bluegrass industry. But, the whole time it's like you almost had a plan, Jerry.
Well, I did have a plan.
No, I didn't think this was all just a chance.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I even before I started Billy Blue, country music started changing back in the 2000s, early 2000s.
It did.
And really changed a lot by the end of the first decade, of 2008, 9, 10, and there it was really starting to change. And it changed even more after that for a little while. But anyway, my point to that is, as country music changed and became what we called, there's a term in Nashville called bro country. As it got more and more like that, I found myself, I just didn't want to write some of that stuff. I applaud those who know how to do that and did it and have made a great living, because there's some great songwriters that have been involved in that. But it just wasn't my cup of tea. So at that point is when I really started going back to my roots. And I started cutting these bluegrass albums on my own solo bluegrass records. I cut the first one in 2007, and I've done several since then. But as I kept going back more and more to my traditional bluegrass roots and traditional country roots, it just got to a point where I was producing some folks as well. And they were independent acts, and they kept saying to me, man, we wish you had your own record label, And so the more I thought about it, I thought, man, that's not a bad idea. So I went in 2018, actually 2017, at the end of that year, near the end of 2017, I went to a gentleman named Ed Leonard and his mother, Dottie Leonard Miller. And Dottie started Daywind Records back in the 1980s. And so this was a long established, what we would call a Southern gospel music label, the most successful in the world. And it's right here in Hendersonville, Tennessee, in my town where I live. And I knew that family because it's another long story, but back in the day when I was writing for EMI in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, I had kept my gospel songs out of my publishing deal, so I could sign them with anybody. So I actually did a little gospel publishing deal with Daywind Records, Daywind Publishing back then. And that's when I really got to know this family. But anyway, I was only there a couple of years, and then my next publishing deal I went to, I signed all my stuff to them. But long story short is I had known these folks. I knew their work ethic. I knew the kind of people they were, and I knew the success and longevity of Daywind Records. And they had every tool that I would need to be successful as a record label. So I went to Ed and had lunch with him one day in 2017, and I said, "Have you ever thought about starting a bluegrass label?" Because a lot of our same fans kind of bleed into each other in those two industries. And he said, "I've thought about it several times, but I just don't know enough about the industry." And I said, "Well, let me tell you so I had a business plan laid out and presented that to him. And before I knew it, Miss Dottie had blessed it and said, let's do it. And so we started Billy Blue Records in 2018, June of 2018. And Appalachian Roadshow was the very first act we signed. And then we got Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver and Joe Mullins and Radio Ramblers. And it just kind of blossomed from there. So that's what's happened. Now, I will tell you, Ed Leonard he probably may know more about bluegrass music today than I do, because that guy is a quick study, and he knows all the artists and has really become involved in this thing. So it's been a great relationship. Oddly enough, today, as you and I speak, we just announced today that we've signed the Grascals. And so we are so excited about that. I mean, it's like a milestone for our label to have another legendary really act. They're one of the best modern bluegrass bands in history, So we're excited about that. We're growing. We're trying to grow slowly. We have grown slowly. I don't want the label to get too big to where it's just too much for everybody to deal with, because we just have limited resources and limited time. But it's been a great opportunity for me to learn a lot. I'd never ran a record label before, so I've learned a lot of lessons, good and bad. And but I've really enjoyed it. This sounds cliche, but it really is like a family, And we have every artist that we have just fits in our family beautifully. It's been a great opportunity. So I was leaning more towards going back to my roots anyway, writing more and more of bluegrass music, and then got a chance to start the label and pretty much live there. I mean, I'm still getting some country cuts, like you said. I've got songs on Chris Stapleton's new album I co-wrote with him and Ronnie Bowman, and so I'm blessed in that way as well. But I'm really enjoying where I am in life right now.
That's awesome, dude. But I was trying to do a list of the stable, as as they call it in the music business, but you're looking at this, I mean, the Grascals, that was a massive announcement today. And yeah. I was glad to see that one. I thought, yeah, I get to ask him about that,
Yeah, man.
Got Carson Peters and Iron Mountain.
Yeah, man. One of the most talented young kids I've ever met in my life.
I used to interview this kid at Song of the Mountains when he was just knee high to a June bug, as they say. That kid was something else.
Yeah, man.
I never forget when his voice started changing. His mom came running up to me in Marion, Virginia, at the Lincoln Theater, and said, "I'm so glad you're here." And I thought, "Oh gosh, is there a fire? What's going on?" She said, "Carson thinks nobody likes him anymore, or nobody thinks he's cute anymore." He started, doing that weird thing. And I was like, no way, man. I got him upstairs and talked him down off the ledge, so to speak. But I mean, the kid has just blossomed and blown up over the years.
Yeah, man.
You got Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Caroline Owens, Appalachian Roadshow, like you said. Authentic Unlimited.
Yeah, man.
Alan Bybee and Grasstown. Man, do we need to go any further? I mean,
yeah, we got Christy Cox and Joe Mullins and Radio Ramblers, and
like half the industry is begging to be involved with what you guys are doing there, and that's a beautiful thing.
It is an honor to have people reach out. Rick, I'll be honest with you, there's no secret to this, in my personal opinion. It's a matter of, when I wanted to start this label, because I'm a little bit of an artist myself, just enough to know what an artist needs to be successful, the tools they need to be successful. And so this, I would say we're probably one of the most, if not the most, artist-friendly bluegrass record label there is. We really love our artists and do everything we possibly can to help them every step of the way.
But there's no doubt to that. I mean, it all shows, Jerry, that you care about what you're doing. You care about the people you work with. You care about your family. When does Jerry Salley ever have 5 minutes to himself? Or does that ever happen?
Hey, folks, we'll be right back with more from Jerry Salley and The Rick Dollar Show.
The Rick Dollar Show. Want to make your advertising dollar go farther? Just go to therickdollarshow.com and fill out the contact information. Someone from our advertising department will contact you as soon as they finish their lunch. The Rick Dollar Show, helping your business be more successful.
Hey y'all, this is Sierra Holm. Make your plans now for IBMA World of Bluegrass. It's in the new home, Chattanooga, Tennessee, September 16th through 20th. You can enjoy showcases, seminars, the IBMA Awards show, and the weekend festival too. Get all the details at ibma.org.
Check out The Rick Dollar Show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at The Rick Dollar Show. To see more great content, check out The Rick Dollar Show on YouTube. The Rick Dollar Show.
Hey, let's rejoin the conversation with the one and only Jerry Salley.
If you don't take a step back once in a while, take a deep breath and just try to, find some peace, you'll go nuts.
And you really can.
Yeah.
Some days it's just too much going on at one time, and you just turn your phone off. You want to turn the computers off. You want to turn the TV off. I mean,
and I do that sometimes.
Well, we live in Savannah now, and it's okay to be, away from everybody. But when we head to, like you guys, when we head back to Gatlinburg and Bristol and all these areas where I grew up and have enjoyed living my whole life. But it's great. But sometimes it's just better to be in Savannah.
I totally get you, brother.
Go to the beach. You can go. I'll go down, and I have probably talked Randy Woods to death since. Okay. Some days it's just you sit down and talk to him and all that stuff, and then when you least expect it, Steve Earle walks in this door. Like, oh crap! I should have lights set up over here, a microphone here, and blah blah blah. But it's always good just to get away, and I totally understand that. But we had talked about moving to the Nashville area, and I was thinking, man, I'll never get any sleep if I do.
That's true. There's plenty of something going on here all the time, and plus traffic, dude. Man, I'm telling you. I moved here in 1982, and I don't think they have ever stopped doing construction on some major highway since I've moved here. I mean, it's constant. There's a lot of people moving here, and so the growth of the town has just constantly caused a lot of work all the time, highway work and road work to keep up with everything.
And bachelorette parties.
And that's what we're known for more now than anything. We used to be the country music capital of the world. Now we're the bachelorette party capital of the world. It's crazy.
All your big country music buddies are putting bars and restaurants down on Broadway, so that's just making it worse.
Well, they got to have someplace to go and eat and have fun.
Thanks, Jelly Roll.
That's funny.
Oh man, it's nuts down there, dude. I just don't know if I could ever move there or not. Maybe I'm just getting too old for things.
Well, I do think I hear you. I live 25, 30 minutes from Music Row, and I'll be honest with you. I very rarely go to Nashville.
I don't see how you keep from just losing it at that point, because too many people can be, I remember going to New York City the first time Susan and I went just to see a baseball game. I thought, I'm going to just relax. That was the biggest pile of doo-doo that I had ever come. That didn't happen, down 34th Street, looking how tall the buildings are. And,
right. That's right.
Ridiculous,
Too much to do.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, what's the future holding for Billy Blue? I mean, I'm looking at all these nominations for IBMA this year, and it's just a ridiculous long list. I mean, I did my IBMA show this week. Actually, I've already produced it and put it out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all these are Billy Blue artists.
Well, we had the most nominations we've ever had. We had 17 nominations this year. We'll see how it goes. I mean, a nomination is just that, but we're really happy, and it makes you feel good that the voting members, the folks that are involved, the industry is recognizing the artists and their music. That's just important to us. But we're looking forward to the World of Bluegrass, that third week of September in Chattanooga this year. For those listening who are going to be there, on Wednesday of that week, Wednesday, September the 17th, from 2 to 5 p.m., in room 12 of the convention center there in Chattanooga, we'll be having a Billy Blue record showcase. And so 8 of our acts will be performing that day, including Appalachian Road Show, the Grascals, Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Carson Peters, Caroline, Christy Cox, Dave Adkins, Alan Bybee in Newtown, or Grasstown, I mean. So, yeah, if you're there, come and see us. We're going to have a great, we're going to have a blowout showcase on Wednesday afternoon in there. But looking forward to that. I can't give it away yet, but the Grascals' first single is going to be an extremely important and beautiful song that'll come out the end of this month, the end of August. And so we're really looking forward to that. Finishing up Carson Peters' new album right now and the Caroline Owens album. Let's see, what are we? Oh, in addition to Billy Blue, we have Billy Jam Records, and I work with a country artist named Alex Miller. And Alex is just, gosh, what a good kid. I mean, I'm very fortunate to get to work with some young artists, and he is one of those. He and Caroline and Carson are 3 very young artists that we're lucky to work with. And Alex is just tearing it up in the country world. He played the Ohio State Fair just a couple nights ago, and just out there spreading his music everywhere. So he's another one that we're excited about, and we're just finishing his album. He's got a current single out right now with Tracy Byrd, and it's actually a salute tribute kind of record to Tracy Byrd. Tracy's singing it on it with Alex, and it's called The Bird. And so it's just it's a really fun song, doing really well at country radio. And Caroline Owens has a new single that just came out today, and so we're very excited about that. She's on fire right now, and we just have a lot. We have, as a label, we just have a lot going on all the time. It's a lot to keep up with.
And you're
excited.
Supposed to. I mean,
what's that?
You're supposed to have something going on all the time.
That's right. We just got to keep the music going, and we are so song centered, and I'm sure that's got a lot to do with the fact that I'm a songwriter first. To me, I got that field of dreams kind of way I think of things. If you build it, they will come. Well, if you're going to build a music label, you want not just great artists, but you want them to record great songs. And so we've kind of built the whole label on that, and excited about what our artists gravitate to, what they like the most. It's just stuff that I line up with that so much, and it just makes it easy to work with them.
Well, success breeds success. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I mean, that's as right down the line as you can say it. But, you started out with a dream, and you wanted to do something with your life, and you were allowed to do that, and you've taken that and you've made other people's lives better. So
I hope so. That's what I strive to do these days. The older I get, the more I just want to try to help people realize the dream. I want them to reach their dreams, and their goals. And I really love when I can be a part of helping somebody get to the next step they want to go to, So anyway, I've just been very, very, very honored to get to work with all these folks, and looking forward to a lot of things. I do have, I've been working on a personal level on my little Very Jerry Records thing. I put out an album, called The Songwriter about a year and a half ago now, almost, and still releasing singles from that. But I'm kind of doing a trilogy, Rick. I did The Songwriter, and now I just finished yesterday after Bradley came in and Cordell came in and sang. I finished recording the second of the 3 records. It's called The Believer, and it's an all bluegrass gospel album. It'll come out in January of next year, so I'm working. I got to get this thing mixed and out there. But I'm excited about that. And it's a little left-footed. I call it a left-footed gospel album because I write songs. I don't write songs necessarily for the church. I write songs for people. And so for instance, I've got a song on there called "God and a Dog," about this fella who this dog showed up and fell in love with the dog, but he's also a Christian, and it's just you'd have to hear it to get it. But there may be some people that think, I don't know if that was, there might be some people that don't really care for it. But I put some songs on here. I got one called "I Need a Drink" that the Freemans recorded a few years ago. But if you listen to it, it's about I need a drink from the river of life. That's what the song is about. But so anyway, when you look at some of these titles, you're going to go, this is a gospel record. But so that's coming out next year, and then I'll be doing the third part of the trilogy, probably in 2007 or so is my goal. But and working on a regular bluegrass album in between all that. So anyway, staying busy.
You can't get away from it, man.
No, not when you have a passion for it and you have these opportunities. I mean, I understand not everybody gets these opportunities, so I want to take advantage of them and do the best I can.
Well, you got it rolling, man. That's all I can say.
Thanks, buddy.
God bless you. You're a good man, and
so are you, brother. Thank you for having me today.
Met you a long time ago. So, like I said, I was thinking about that earlier. Just sitting here taking, writing my notes and stuff, and I was like, how long have I known this cat?
Yeah.
A long time.
It has been a long time. I bet that nearly 20 years. I can't remember what year we were in Bristol there, but I think I had met you even before that. I think the first time we talked might have been was the first time in Bristol, the first time in Gatlinburg, during the Smoky Mountain Songwriters thing, maybe.
It was in Gatlinburg at the Smoky Mountain Songwriters Festival, and we had Tim Stafford in that interview in the place at Cordell.
Yeah.
He was either sick or he had another engagement or something had gone on.
Yeah.
And, we just had a ball, man.
We did have a ball. They changed that now to the Gatlinburg Songwriters Festival, and it's still going. I'll play there again. Right, coming up real soon. So
that sounds good. Maybe we'll run across each other up there. You never know.
I hope so. It'd be great to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you too. Well, today I've had Mr. Jerry Salley with me, part of the big three, by the way. I have to always mention that now. Because I don't, Carl's going to call me and say, hey.
You are right about that.
Jimmy boy himself, let me tell you. Man, take it easy. Enjoy your life and do what makes you happy. And if you have that opportunity in life and you can still have hair like Jerry Salley,
shoot,
hang in there. Because
you're too kind.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Well, tell Aaron we said okay, and take care of those grandkids, brother. We will see you soon, okay?
All right, you tell Susan we said hello, and we do hope to see you soon. You have fun with yours as well, and God bless you, brother. Appreciate you.
See you soon.
All right, thank you, brother.
I've had Mr. Jerry Salley with me today.
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.